Myself B. Sai Teja. I am from Triple A section and my topic is traveling waves in power systems. So let's begin this presentation. Introduction. The formation of an electrical potential between the conductors of an overhead line is followed along the production of an electrostatic flux, while the flow of electric current by the conductor affects in the origination of magnetic field. The electrostatic fields are due to the series of electrical shunt capacitors when the inductors are in the series with the transmission line. So when the during the formation of electrical potential between the conductors of an overload line, uh, which results the thing results in the production of electrostatic flux. So when the flow of electric current by the conductor affects the affects the system, it produces the magnetic field, and the electrostatic fields are affected due to the electrical shunt capacitors, when the inductors are in the series with the transmission line. A transmission line is distributed parameter circuits, and a distinguishing feature of such a circuit is its ability to support traveling wave of voltage and current. A circuit with distributed parameters as in finite velocity of electromagnetic field propagation. In such a circuit, the changes in voltage and current owing to switching and lighting do not occur simultaneously in all parts of the circuit, but spread out in the form of traveling waves or surges. So this part mainly discuss about the originating of the traveling waves. So when a transmission line is a distributed parameter circuit, and the distinguishing feature of such a circuit is its ability to support the traveling waves of voltage and current. A circuit with distributed parameter, the circuit which has the distributed uh, parameters with an finite velocity of electromagnetic field propagation. So in such case, the changes in current and voltage uh, results in or owing to switching and lightning. So these results, switching and lightnings, do not occur simultaneously in the all parts of the circuit. They don't occur at the same time. They don't occur parallelly in all the parts of the circuit, but they spread out in the form of traveling waves. Even though they do not occur at the same time, they spread throughout the circuit in the form of traveling waves from one part to another part of the circuit. So here we can see the circuit diagram. There are many parts, L1, L2, L3 inductors, C1, C2, C3 capacitors, switch, load. When switch S is closed, the inductance L1 acts as an open circuit and C1 as short circuit instantaneously. So when this switch is closed, the L1 acts as open circuit and C1 acts as short circuit instantaneously. The same instant next section cannot be changed because voltage across capacitor C1 is 0. So unless the capacitor C1 is charged with some value whatsoever, charging of the capacitor C2 through L1 is not possible. So here in the diagram, L1 becomes the open circuit and C1 becomes the closed circuit when the switch S is closed. So but without charging C1 capacitor, we cannot travel to the C2. We cannot go to it. So in order to charge the C2 through L2, we need to keep the C1 charged. So we need to charge the capacitor C1. The same argument applies to the third section, fourth section, and so on. So the same thing applies to third and fourth section. How many? So we can see here namely L1 C1, L2 C2, L3 C3, so on to L and Cn, and at the end we have the load. So if we want to go to C2, the operation, then we need to have its preceding capacitor charged. So if we want to go to C3, we need to get C2 charged. So to go through any element and get it charged with the respective inductor, we need to charge the preceding capacitor. Unless it is charged, we cannot move to the next cup. So we need to the voltage at successive section builds up gradually. The voltage at successive section builds up gradually, because when we go from one section to another section, the voltage adds up and capacitor gets charged continuously, respectively with those inductors in an order of sequence. So the gradual buildup of voltage over the transmission line conducts can be regarded as though a voltage wave is traveling from one end to other end, and the gradual charging of capacitance is due to associated current wave. So the gradual charging of capacitor due to the associated current wave. The associated current wave increases, and which increases the voltage capacity in the every section. It is indirectly proportional to it, inversely. So the current wave, which is accompanied by voltage wave, sets up a magnetic field. So the current wave, which is accompanied by the voltage. One second. Yeah. Then the current wave is accomplished with the voltage in the section of the circuit. It gives the waves. It gives a magnetic field in the surrounding space. So at junctions and terminations, these surges undergo reflections and refractions in an extensive network with many lines and junctions. The number of traveling waves initiated by single incident wave will mushroom at considerable rate, and the wave splits and multiple reflections occur. So at the junctions and terminations, many these surges undergo through many reflections and refraction operations. So with exclusive and extensive of this refraction and reflection work, the single incident wave will be considerably as date will split up. Will split up into multiple waves, and multiple reflections occur. It is true that the total energy of resultant wave cannot exceed the energy of incident wave. However, it is possible for an voltage. So it is possible for an voltage uh, to build up certain junctions due to reinforcing action of several waves. So this line totally speaks about this resulting energy and the waves and the magnetic field which is produced surrounding the junctions, and the operations of reflections and refractions. So next, specifications of traveling wave. So here we can see a diagram of specifications of traveling wave: magnitude, crest, front, and tail. So the traveling wave can be represented mathematically in a number of waves. We can represent mathematically a traveling wave in a mathematical equation or mathematical position in a different number of waves. It is most commonly represented in the form of infinite, rectangular, or step wave. So here we can see in the diagram, it is commonly represented in the form of infinite, rectangular, or step wave shape. A traveling wave is characterized by four specifications as illustrated in the figure. So it is by the four specifications. The specifications are magnitude, tail, front, crest. So next, crest. It is the maximum amplitude of the wave, and it is expressed in kV or Ka. So crest is the maximum amplitude of the wave. So we can see the crest at the topmost tip or topmost point in the wave. So it is and it is expressed in kV, kilovolts, or kiloamperes. front. It is a portion of wave before the crest and is expressed in the time from the beginning of the wave to the crest in the value of milliseconds or microseconds. So here is the front, which is expressed in milliseconds or microseconds. This is the portion wave before the crest. Tail is the wave, is the portion beyond the crest. It is the tail is the portion ending point, we can say, in the wave, or the portion of which comes after the crest. It is the expressed in the time from becoming of the wave to the point where the wave has reduced to 50% of its value at its crest. So the wave value will be reduced by 50%. At what value it is at crest, it becomes low. So next, polarity of the crest value and value. A positive wave of 500 kilovolts crest, 1 US front and 25 US tail will be presented as plus 500 1.0 25.0. It's a represent of polarity for a wave consisting of these specifications: 500 kV crest, 1 US front and 25 US tail will be represented like this using these specifications. At junctions and terminations, these surges undergo reflections and refractions in extension network. As we know, the reflections and refractions occur, and the waves are divided into multiple, and multiple reflections will occur. So the number of traveling waves initiated by a single incident wave will be split and multiple reflections occur, as we already know about this by using the previous slide. So it is true that total energy of resultant wave cannot exceed the energy of incident wave. So the total energy of resultant waves, which the wave splits up into the multiple waves, they are the resultant waves. So they cannot exceed the energy of the incident wave, the original wave. That's the point. However, it is possible for the voltage to build up at certain junctions due to the reinforcing actions of several waves. So due to the reinforcing action, it is possible to build some voltage up at certain junctions. For a complete study of phenomenon, the use of Bailey lattice diagram or digital computer is necessary. To study about these reflections occur by splitting, we need a Bailey lattice diagram or a digital computer. So next, reflection and refractions of traveling wave. So now we see in detail about reflections and refractions of traveling waves. So if a traveling wave arrives at the point where the impedance suddenly changes, the wave is partially transmitted and partially reflected. So a complete wave is divided. Some part of the wave is transmitted and some part of the wave is partly reflected. Some is partly transmitted and other some is partly reflected. Loading points, label line, cable junctions and even faults constitute such discontinuities. So these are the discontinuities such as line cable junctions which occur at the. So along will combine an accordance with their polarity to provide different voltage and current levels at the meeting point. So along with a line combine in accordance with their polarity to provide large voltage and current levels at the meeting point. Equivalent circuit of traveling wave studies. So now we discuss about the equivalent circuit of traveling wave. So here we can see the actual circuit which we saw in the second slide, the complete circuit diagram. So it is the actual circuit and this is the equivalent circuit. So an equivalent circuit for studies of traveling waves can be easily developed by making use of Thevenin's theorem. By using the Thevenin's theorem, we can demonstrate the analysis of the traveling waves by using the equivalent circuit diagram. So voltage source VT and resistance RT connected in series. So we are connected in series. The voltage source VT called Thevenin's equivalent. VT is called Thevenin's equivalent voltage. Is the open circuit voltage that appears across the load terminals when the load is removed or disconnected, and resistance RT. So RT is called the Thevenin's equivalent resistance when the RT is removed or disconnected, and it leads into the operation. So it is the Thevenin's voltage and R is Thevenin's resistance is equal to the resistance of the network of the loading. So Thevenin's resistance is equal to the resistance of the network looking back into the load terminals. So that's all about traveling waves in power systems. This is a complete a bit overview. Here we discussed about the introduction first of all, and the circuit diagram of traveling waves, and the operations, and the specifications of the traveling waves, on what the traveling waves is dependent, and the specifications of how the polarity is measured, and some important points of reflections and refractions and the operations over here, and equivalent circuit analysis using Thevenin's theorem. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.